Hey, for sale by owner people. I am here to give you some tips of what to do and what not to do when you're trying to sell your home or land. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is disclosure. Disclosure means you are informing your buyer things about your property that they should know before they make the purchase. Don't let that scare you, because what's scary is when they own the property, they find out later, and then they realize you knew and you didn't explain it to them. So when you disclose, you are going to type up a list of things that maybe you've had to work around in the past, that maybe it's not a problem for you, but think about the new buyer, how it's going to be in their head. Is this a problem? Maybe there's issues with the home. You know, every house has some kind of issues, but maybe you've worked around it or you can't afford to fix it. Don't let that scare you not to tell your buyer. What should scare you is when they find out later. Okay, so you're going to get your typewriter. Yeah, I'm telling my age. Okay, your computer, or handwrite it if you need to. And make a list, get some thought through it, walk through your house. You know, what are problems with the house? Type it up. Maybe these are things that you don't want to fix, you don't have the time to, don't know who to call, can't afford it, whatever the reason is, write it down and you make a list. And it could also be things that's going on with your neighbors. Maybe it drives you crazy, you know. Could be odors, parties that happen all the time, barking dogs all the time. It could be with the landscape. You know, you got a little flooding issue somewhere, plumbing, roof, whatever you can think of yourself as the buyer. You know, would you want to know? So you're going to type it up, write it up, and you give this to your buyer before you do the contract. They initial it, sign it, that they've been informed, you have a copy, and they have a copy. Now, if you think of something later, let's say all your stuff's at the title company and it's, you know, we're getting close to closing or in the middle or what have you, and you think of something, add to it, deliver it to them, have them initial and sign it. You know, so don't be afraid of that. What you should be most afraid of is if they find this information out after the fact. So I always tell my people, give them the good, bad, and the ugly. And so a lot of people get confused with the old, you know, thing as far as what people were thinking, like, you know, as is. As is not a get off the hook, you know, terminology that you want to use when you're selling your property. You still need to disclose. And so you disclose it before they purchase the property, because a lot of people think, you know, once we've passed papers, signed, they're the new owners, phew, you know, got out of that. You know, it's their problem now. Now they own it. When you pass papers and when you sign, you are not off the hook. You are now on the hook. And I'll explain that in another video to keep this short. But disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. The law does not get you off the hook if you use those words. I'm selling my property as is. People can buy it as is in New Mexico, but let them know what's wrong with it. You don't want problems hanging over your head later. So anyway, I wish you luck with that one, and, you know, write it all out, get detailed, and till the next video, start working on that. Bye.